So, man, everybody, welcome back. This your boy Reckless Talk with the Reckless Talk Podcast, Reckless Talk Sports Podcast, Reckless Talk Management and Promotions, A1 Music Empire, 1836 Entertainment, Houston City Beat. We are the storytellers of Houston. Man, we got a dope interview for you guys today with music artist Awesome Ray. Man, this dude is a monster with it, man. Man, we're going to get into it. Before we do, though, big shout out to our sponsors. Otto's Root Beer, the greatest root beer on earth, brewed in Huntsville, Texas by Brew Nation. Old school family recipe from the 1950s. And, of course, we have J-Rec Distribution and LLC. And the greatest burgers on earth who just opened up their very first restaurant, Smash Wagon. Goes amazing with some Otto's Root Beer. Make sure y'all check them out in Beaumont, Texas. And then, of course, we have Hoodlum Nature Records. Man, what's going on, brother? It's been a minute, man. How you been?
Good. What's up, man? What's up?
Man, it's a blessing, bro. Give everybody a little backstory how we met. I actually met Awesome Ray in Hollywood. He was opening up for Afro Man in Hollywood, California, with Whiskey a Go for Afro Man's 49th birthday. Man, when I say this dude brung it, like he truly brought it. Like had the crowd going crazy. Well, we had about 300 people in there, maybe. Like had the crowd going crazy. His energy is amazing. His crowd work's amazing. What's going on, brother? Tell everybody where you originally from and what was it like growing up in your city?
So I'm originally from a county. Actually, it's called Arlington, and it's right outside of Washington D.C. So technically, it's in Virginia. It's on the Virginia side of the river, but it touches Maryland, and you got D.C. right there. So yeah, man, I'm a city boy, if you call it that, a city. But yeah, man, from Arlington, Virginia, right next to D.C. So got that DMV vibe, as we call it, which is D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. It gets one. But yeah, man, I'm very blessed and very fortunate to be from a not only like a culturally rich area per se, but like also a historically rich area. A lot of history is attached to the DMV. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know DC is the seat of government, basically the most powerful area in the world, because DC is, United States government and sets the tone for the rest of the world. But a lot of America's history is right in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? You got Arlington National Cemetery, you got the Pentagon, you know what I'm saying? You got all the memorials and the monuments and all of that, man. So that's the area that I'm from, and I know that today is 9/11, so it definitely affected my area for sure. The plane that hit the Pentagon, I was actually playing basketball in my middle school, and then that plane flew right over our school, because the Pentagon is at the end of the street of where our middle school was. So definitely lived through and witnessed history. So
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I was going to bring up 9/11 a little bit later in this interview. But man, big shout outs to all the first responders, man. Big shout outs to the people that lost their lives, the first responders that lost their lives, man. And prayers to the families of first responders and the people in general that lost their lives. And prayers to America, man. I actually commented on a post today that one of my artist's wife posted, asking, do we remember where we were, what we were doing? And that actually touched that. We're gonna go a little off topic for a minute. That actually touched me a little bit, because being from New York, I remember exactly what I was doing. I was walking to school. I was a freshman in high school, and I was walking to school an hour late, like always, never on time. And I remember seeing the first plane hit, bro, and we thought it was a movie. You know what I mean? So we're like, fuck school. We about to go to Manhattan. So we walk into the ferry terminal, and the second plane hit. And that's when we're like, all right, maybe this isn't a movie. You know what I mean? And yeah, that was a crazy day. But 23 years ago? 23. Yeah. So definitely prayers and big shout outs to all the first responders. And big shout out to Smash Wagon. With it being 9/11, if you are a first responder, all first responders eat free today. So if you're in the Beaumont area, check out Smash Wagon, the best burgers on earth. Man, you super talented, bro. From blues to rock, hip hop, metal, man, you do it all. Is there a genre you don't touch?
Well, I'll say to you like this, man. I'm a fan of music, and I don't believe in like gimmicks or trends per se. I like what I like, and I think that as far as genres go, man, I go with what my heart goes with. You know, I love all different types of music. Some days, you know what I'm saying, I'll listen to Wu-Tang. Other days I'll be listening to Bad Omens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on the day. You know, you can catch me rocking with James Brown or bumping some Backstreet Boys. It's whatever. So I think it's so much more than categorizing genres, you know what I mean? Like, it's emotions, it's feelings, you know. But I think I do touch on a lot of stuff, man. I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself and give away some things, but all the music that's currently out right now, obviously, of rap, hip hop, you got a little bit of pop, you got EDM, you got metal, you got blues. There is another genre that might make a surprise appearance in the next couple of months that people might not quite expect me to do.
Here we go. I love it, man. And that's one thing about you. Like, I've dealt with a few artists, or just throughout the year, listened to a few artists where they touch different genres, but like you can see where their skills really at and what genre. That's a big ass cup. But with you,
64 ounces, man.
but with you, it's like every genre you touch, you kill. And I love that. You know what I mean? You don't sacrifice what you're good at. Like, you're good no matter what you touch, you're gonna kill it. And I love it. Like, when y'all seen you perform live in Hollywood, honestly, favorite performance of the night. Like, what you guys did was electrifying. What was your boy's name that was with you?
Javen Shepherd. That is my best friend, my day one, man. We've been friends since we were probably 7, 8 years old, man. We played in school bands together, concert bands. We played in marching bands together. We played churches together. We just had a church event a couple weeks ago. It's funny, man. Like, we're so in tune to each other musically, like, it works out. But I appreciate the nod with being able to pull off genres, but I have to give credit where credit is due, man. You know, the idea might start with me, but I think it's important that, more so than being talented, like, I know that there's areas I'm not a master in, right? I know that. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to tap in to folks that are, you know what I mean? I'll give an example. An amazing producer, a friend of mine, his name is Will, and he produced Last Desperado. And I am not the best, you know, with the heavy metal. It's a genre that I love. I love rock. I love metal. We know there's different subgenres, but that's like that's his wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? That is his sauce. And I like tapped in and linked up with him for that. So I take my strengths in blues and hip hop, and I can pull them into other genres and manipulate that genre a little bit to match what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Definitely credit of not just myself, but folks that I work with. People like my best friend, like Javen Shepherd, like Will, you know what I'm saying, and other folks that I've collaborated with in the past. So I think it's kind of like you know, being a coach with sports. You know, yes, the coach has to have talent because he's got to be a coach, got to be able to coach his players, but he also has to have the wisdom to recognize who to put where and what spots to put certain people in. And I think you got to be the coach of your career. You got to know what you're strong in and what you're not strong in, and then tap other people to help you, you know, lift you up to the next level, what you're trying to get to. And I think that's a big part of what I do. Like, I'm gonna be real. A lot of people are like, oh, you're amazing, you can sing, bro. I'm telling you right now, I am not a singer. I know singers. Like my boy Javen Shepherd, you saw him, you heard him. He's a singer. He's got pipes. You know what I mean? But I can definitely take my style and knowing my voice and use that in conjunction with somebody who is a singer and be able to work out a product that works and fits and it slaps without being gimmicky. Without you know, some artists, they try a little too hard to be something they're not, that's out of their wheelhouse. I'm not gonna I know I can't do it. I'm not gonna try it. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts. Yo, Ray, this is Dusty Hayes right here, man. He's an artist out of Houston, man. Big shout out to Dusty. You guys need to collab. Oh my goodness.
We about to be working on it. We've been talking.
Man, that's what's up. Hell yeah. Y'all make some magic, bro. I know it. I fucking know it. I got about 3 or 4 songs Dusty's, and that's gonna be in rotation for life. Like Dusty's a dope ass artist. You guys can make some amazing magic. Man, let's go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
He can rap too. Like
yeah.
I'm hip, bro. It's gonna happen. Trust me. Like there's some things going on I have to clear up, and not in a bad way, but like some projects and other things I gotta polish off, and then definitely the next step is gonna be a lot of collaborations, bro.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be dope. I'm excited for you guys on that, man. We're gonna fast forward and then rewind right after I say this. Man, one of your biggest crowds you performed in front of was 140,000 people at Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia, sharing the stage with some big name artists such as Jelly Roll, Papa Roach, Ice Cube, Tech Nine, Cypress Hill. In saying that, let's rewind to your childhood. How did you get into music? Who or what influenced you?
So here's the crazy thing about that, right? So that festival was like over the course of a few days. Mm-hmm. But some of those artists, bro, I grew up listening to, and I've seen in concert many a times. So that was huge. Also, Blue Ridge 2021, that was the first show that Austin Ray Ray ever played as a solo artist. So what a huge crowd and what a huge festival to be a part of as my first live performance as me.
All right, hold on. I'm glad you said that. We're gonna get there. Because I definitely want to touch on 2014 going there with the band, and then 2021 by yourself. But let's rewind to your kid. How did you get into music, and who inspired that?
So I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like I've always loved music from as far as I could remember. I've always been tapping on things. By trade, I'm a drummer, right? Like that is my instrument of specialty. And I remember being in elementary school and kind of getting in trouble for not focusing in class and being ADHD, which that generation, our parents' generation, really wasn't quite sure what that was yet. That wasn't a thing. And they me on like Ritalin, and it turned me into a zombie. And I was like, Mom, I don't like this. I don't like the way it makes me feel. And they took me off of it. And my teachers were always like, he's always tapping on his desk. Can we get this kid a pair of drumsticks and see if we could get him in, some band classes or something? And that's exactly what my mom did. And my grandmother reinforced that by letting me play drums in her backyard. And bro, when I tell you, it was like boom. I was bit with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was infected with the disease known as music. And it is just
at what age was that?
We're talking like 3, 4, 5 years old, and then just boom. Every available opportunity I got to play drums, I took it. It didn't matter who it was for, where I was at. If it was a parade and the band was warming up before they marched, and they let me touch a drumstick and beat on a drum, I was doing it. I'd be up in church before the church, started wailing away on the drums, bro. Like every opportunity I got, and I just stuck with it and kept getting better and better and better and better. My friends would, in middle school, they were in the video games. I was in the band. I was into playing drums and rapping and DJing and freestyling, and I started writing. I came up on like the Beat Nuts. You know what I'm saying? Huge Beat Nuts fan. Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, all of that, bro. Wu-Tang, you name it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro, like my mom was like, hey, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not getting in trouble, beat away, like play them drums. You know what I'm saying? And
I like that, bro. That's dope. And that's one of my favorite questions I ask almost every artist that comes on my show. How did you get into music? Who influenced you? Because a lot of times it's going to be through church, through schools, through plays. But then you have times like with your answer, something totally different. You know what I mean? And I love that, bro. I love that. Man, let's fast forward, man. So you was an endorsed drummer in a band, done a few national tours. How did that come about, and how was that experience?
So in 2014, I gotta back up before that. So I played drums in a bunch of like local bands in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, off and on some projects, got off the ground and kind of flopped, but that's expected. That's life. And I had stopped playing drums for a little bit, and there was a pop rock band out of Fairfax, Virginia. And one of my friends was like, yo, man, you should come by and check out one of our practices. And I was like, all right. So I go over there, check out their practice. And I'm like, yo, y'all sound like Fall Out Boy and Linkin Park. This is kind of dope. I was like, can I play drums for y'all? And my boy was like, we already got a drummer. And I was like, so then why am I here? He was like, you rap? And I was like, no, man, I don't really rap. I'm a drummer. He's like, just try this. So he plays like this beat with some guitars on there. And then I just, sit there vibing out, write some stuff on a pad, and I start rapping to it. And everybody in the room was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh shit. That band was called Escape the Armada. And we got a lot of traction very fast. It literally was a combination of Fall Out Boy and Linkin Park, something that really hadn't quite been heard in our area. Played a bunch of shows and got really, really popular. Even got the attention of Lil Wayne and Young Money. Our manager went to school with Lil Wayne and Drake's manager. They went to college together. So there was we got the attention of Nicki Minaj, a couple of people. And unfortunately, we hit this point where we started to get so popular that we had some tough choices to make. And at that time, our lead singer, his dad was like, you're going to med school. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't really say no to that. And that unfortunately fell apart. I jumped into public safety as a full-time job because I had two kids, and that kind of fizzled out. There was no music for about a year and some change. So one day I'm at work and I'm honestly having a rough day. I'm down, I'm stressed out. And I'm like, man, I got to play drums again, but I just don't want to play for like another local band that's not really trying to do something. So I get on Craigslist, and there's a band from New York City that has a show in my area. And they're like, yo, we need a fill-in drummer for like 2 days. So I auditioned, I recorded me playing to their songs. I met the guys. They were absolutely insane. They're called Year of the Locust, and played the show in Baltimore, and it went great. They're like, hey, we got another one in Tennessee. Can you come down and play for us there too until our drummer can come back on the tour? Sure. And they were on tour with a guy called Jake E. Lee, who was one of Ozzy Osbourne's original guitarists. So that was kind of my first introduction to like the real industry. First time I'd really seen a Prevost tour bus and seeing how that stuff worked. So a couple weeks later, fast forward, they call me. They're like, yo, our drummer has to quit. Can you be our full-time drummer? And I was like, dog, y'all live in New York. I live in DC. I got a full-time job. I don't think I could do this. And believe it or not, I talked to my pastor about it. And he was like, you're not going to achieve your goals and dreams if you're not available and if you're scared. So I quit my job. I moved up to New York City. And for the next several years, I played with this band and we toured and put out records. And bro, that was the first time I ever played an arena. And that blew my mind. Like I cried like a baby, like that whole evening, bro. Because these are things that I wanted to do when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are dreams that I legitimately wanted to achieve, and they were happening one after the other. And it was a lot. And I thank God for those guys, and I miss them every day. And they're still my brothers. Everybody's doing their own thing, but that's how I got into the industry, at least on the rock side of things. Meeting tour managers and being on buses and being broke down with 5 pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, tour life, ain't it amazing?
it's not what everybody thinks it is all the time. Like Cypress Hill said,
Exactly.
it's still a job. But so that was how I really got exposed to that, and I just got bit with the bug even more. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like the harder things got, the more I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? The more stressful things got, the more I wanted it. And even on my roughest day out there on the road, being broke, hot, tired, struggling to get to the next city, bro, happiest I've ever been in my life. And things with Year the Locust, they went in different directions. We had some creative differences. It is what it is. That's life. Um, and I left the band in 2018, and I'd already written a bunch of stuff for myself that I actually wanted to use for Year the Locust, but it never got implemented. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do Awesome Ray Ray, and boom, bro. That's how it happened.
I'm glad you did, bro. I'm glad you did. And this is a testimony right here, man. Like a lot of people in the music industry, they look at success and they look at Jay-Z and all these big name artists and say they look at him like that's success. No, what you were doing, you are a successful artist. You know what I mean? You don't have to be that world famous name. You know what I mean? You've been on national tours. You're doing what you love, and you are successful. And I applaud you, man. Talking about these tours. Man, you done purchased also Ray Ray's first tour bus.
Yeah,
Man, congratulations to that, bro. That's a big ass fucking bus.
thank
How did that come about, bro? And that just shows you believe in your craft and your journey.
thank you, man. I can't, not to sound greedy, because I'm very thankful. I can't wait to do bigger. And it's coming. Um, so this is crazy, bro. I am not advocating for this, right? I am crazy. I do things a little differently sometimes. So I actually bought that bus before Awesome Railway was really a thing. It was a
Okay.
dream goal of mine to have a bus. And I was like, I'm gonna buy me a tour bus, thinking that, yeah, that's all you gotta do, and then you're gonna blow up overnight. It doesn't happen like that. But I was on Craigslist, and this was like during the pandemic, right when it started. And this is before things really shut down. So I wasn't prepared, I didn't think things were going to go the way they did, but I went and bought the bus in Charlotte, North Carolina, drove it all the way back to Virginia, remodeled, worked on it and stuff. And then the world stopped. You know what I'm saying? The entire world stopped. Venues closed, tours stopped, shows stopped. And I was like, dog, I haven't I haven't even released my first song yet. I haven't done.
Well, now you got a big ass bus just sitting there.
Yeah, busted. It's cost thousands of dollars. It's costing me money to store, and nobody's able to see it. It's not being able to perform its essential function. But after things started lifting up with the pandemic, man, I said, you know what? I have an asset, and you're a business owner. A lot of musicians got to understand too. If you're serious about your career, your music career is a business, and that bus is an asset. And it has taken me a lot of places. Also, a couple years ago, I actually lived on my bus for a year. You know what I'm saying? I was in a weird situation where I wasn't home enough, and it didn't make sense to spend thousands of dollars on rent. You know what I'm saying? Or bus, and I'm working contract work, and I got a free place to keep it. Why not stay on it and live on there and stack some bread? And that's essentially what happened. So
Yeah.
that bus actually paid for itself like a year after I bought it. You know
Hell
what I'm
yeah. That's
saying?
dope, and that's a smart move. Like I know for me, my goal is I want to live life on the road. I got that taste of tour life, touring with Afro Man a few months ago, and that's our goal. You know what I mean? So I definitely commend you to pulling the trigger on that. You know what I mean? Even though there was some bumps in the road, like I said, that just shows that you believe in your skill, your process, your journey. So big ups to you on that. Dusty said, dude, your humble, original mindset is a gem for real. Mad respect and enjoying your story a lot, dude. Dusty, real cool. Dusty been on my show too before.
Thank you,
Man,
man.
let's talk about what are some things about you that your fans might not know about you.
Um, okay. Well, there's a couple things. Some folks know, some folks don't. Um, a lot of my like real supporters do, but for the ones that don't, I come from a background in law enforcement and firefighting, and also private security. I've worked for the federal government. I've done a lot of stuff that I don't look like I've done. you know, um, like you brought up firefighting. I did become a firefighter in 2012. And that's a national certification. So in theory, if I wanted to, I can go to any state in the country, and obviously if I apply to the department, I can, get on as a firefighter. So I have a lot of training in that arena, a lot of training in law enforcement and private security, a lot of training with the federal government, because everybody's got to have a day job up until you get to the point where, your music career is taking care of you. So my day job has always been a protector. Even now, my current role, I'm in the private sector, but it is very much a protector role. I'm a director in safety and security for a nonprofit and involved in the DC area, but we do things on a national level, and it's my job to keep folks safe. I have the heart and the spirit of a protector. So that's some things that some folks might not know about me. I am a state certified instructor for the state of Virginia, so I can teach you how to be a armed security officer. I could teach you and certify you to be a private investigator. I can certify you on how to be a personal protection specialist, or what most people call a bodyguard. But we call it personal protection, kind of like Secret Service ish. So
Okay.
I could that kind of stuff. I have some firearms training, extensive firearms training. So I am in the process of getting my official firearms instructor certification so that I can teach people how to and certify them on how to actually safely use a firearm. So
That's dope, man. That's real dope, and I definitely commend you on that, bro. For real, I really do. Man, let's talk about performances, man. What's been like actually before we touch that, your very first time on stage? Do you remember that? And if so, what was that like?
uh as an adult or just in general?
In general.
Oh man. Oh, this is embarrassing. And this memory. All right. Fourth grade talent show.
Okay, let's hear it.
A couple of my friends we made a dance routine. What was the name of that song, man? By Timbaland and Magoo and Missy. I think it was like Here We Come. It was like the Spider-Man sample. Like, here we come. So wave your hands for Missy, Magoo, and Timbaland. We go show you how to party, right? Yeah, that song. Not a lot of folks might remember that. That was like early Timbaland. That was like 1990, like 7 Timbaland.
Yeah.
And Missy. So that was, I think, that I can remember was the first time I ever been on stage and performed. And we made a dance routine, and I rapped Timbaland part because that is my favorite producer. One of my biggest inspirations and influences is Timbaland. So that was the first time. I remember being nervous, but I had this overwhelming sense that I belong there. And I know that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Here's something that's very serendipity too, because my mom has a picture of that somewhere, and in the background, our art teacher had painted the Hollywood sign in the background, and that's just kind of serendipitous of
Yeah.
what come for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell
got my
yeah.
tattooed on me, and where did I meet you at? You know what I'm saying? Where did I record my song ever on the run? I recorded that at Hollywood.
That's dope. That's real dope, man. Man, what would you say has been your most memorable performance?
So far, I gotta chalk it up to, I would say, two performances I would say are the most memorable. I'll say 3. So the first one would have to be the first time I played in an arena with Year the Locust and did a drum solo in front of like 8,000 people, bro. It was ridiculous. And we were on tour with a band called Puddle of Mud, Saving Abel, and Tantric. And I'll never forget it. We played the Corbin Arena in Corbin, Kentucky, which I haven't been back since. I will play that arena again as Awesome Ray Ray. It is going to happen.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean, bro, the tears that came out of my eyes, as the crowd is going crazy, and I'm looking up in the stands in this arena, and I'm like, dog, I am playing drums in a freaking arena. This is wild. So that was a very memorable moment for me. And then the second one, I would have to say, would be Blue Ridge 2021, which was my first performance as Awesome Ray Ray. Just memorable because not a lot of people get an opportunity like that to be their first show, you know, as my project. And I was on stage with, you know, some of my best friends. I had Javen Shepherd there, who you met, and also my guitarist for that show was the lead singer from Year of the Locust. So even though band anymore, he did me a really big solid by coming down from New York and rehearsing and playing that show with me. That meant a lot to me. And then the DJ was a buddy of mine that I met in Austin, Texas. His name is Yee, Maxwell Yee, and flew him out for Blue Ridge. And then a buddy of mine I went to high school with, Thomas, who used to be a drummer for a rapper named Drum. He used to drum for Drum, and Chance. He played for me as well. So that was memorable. And then obviously the most recent one was the Afro Man show, bro. When I tell you, me and Javen mapped everything out and did everything we were supposed to do, not just at that performance, but the entire visit to LA. Everything happened exactly how it was supposed to from start to finish. I couldn't have asked for a better experience. We did exactly what we came to do, bro.
I'm glad you mentioned Hollywood. I'm gonna pull this up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you. What's going on? Why isn't it pulling up?
Yeah, I didn't that.
All right. So in saying this right here, how is it? How does it feel, man? You got your name up on that sign right there with some big heavy hitters in Hollywood, California. Whiskey a Go Go. Well, where were we on? What street was that we was on? Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, California. Man, what was that right there? What was that like? I remember y'all taking that picture. I was trying to figure out who y'all were.
So it's funny because as we were leaving our hotel, which was literally around the corner, we were coming up the hill across the street from Viper Room, and Javen was like, "Yo, look to the left." I was like, "Oh, there's the whiskey," and he goes, "Look at the sign," and I was like, "That, bro." I wasn't expecting that, bro. I started tearing up, dude. Like, backstory, and I told this story when I was on stage that night. 2 years ago, prior to that, I flew out to LA to film a music video. Plastic Hearts, right? The original songs by Miley Cyrus. I redid it. I remember knocking on the door to the whiskey and asking them if I could come in and get some footage. And they weren't mean or nothing, but they were like, first off, who are you? Second of all, no. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't come in on the night. And I remember being a little bit sad, but I was thinking to myself, like, that's okay. I'll be back. And lo and behold, a couple of years later, bro, I'm on stage at the whiskey rocking out. And it's just,
that was dope. That was dope.
It's wild how stuff like that happens. And I think that, you know, not to be all cliche, but you really do have to manifest your dreams. Like you do. You have to tell yourself and believe that it will happen. You got to do the work too. And you're going to have disappointments. They're going to be a lot of doors slammed in your face. They're going to be a lot of no's. I remember people telling me I was crazy for quitting my job to move to New York for almost no money to join a band that, you know, nobody knew what was going to happen. People are like, oh, that's irresponsible. That's dumb. And it's like, that's your opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? You're entitled to it, but I got to follow my dreams. I have 2 daughters, and I'm not saying be reckless, no pun intended, but you know, you have to be bold. And obviously, I still worked when I joined the band. I just had a different type of work. Like I had contract jobs instead of a full solid job that I worked every day. You know, I would work for 30 days and then go on tour and then have to come back home and find another gig. You know what I'm saying? But when you really here to do something, you got to be bold. Sometimes you got to do stuff that's not going to make sense to everybody. I still have people looking at me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, why are you wasting your money? Why are you doing this? Well, why not? We get one opportunity to live this life in this plane. So I'm going to take it. And I want my daughters to see that they can do anything that they want to do, regardless of what people might have to say or think. But you got to have the education, the knowledge, and you got to be willing to learn. And you're going to take some bruises, bro. You're going to take some bruises. I've lost relationships. I've lost friends. I've lost a lot of money. There are people to this day that probably have nothing good to say about me. And you know what? Again, that's their opinion. I respect that. Got to do me.
Big facts. And for the people, and it's not just for you, this is just for artists or just anybody in general that's pursuing their goals and dreams. There's going to be people that doubt you. There's going to be people that talk down to you. There's going to be people that say that's not smart to do, but you don't quit your job. You dumb for going to New York and blah, blah, blah. But remember one thing, everybody out there, your journey is not for everyone to understand.
Exactly.
Your journey is not for everyone to see. You know what I mean? Everyone's not going to get your journey because it's your journey. Keyword, your. You know what I mean? So fuck what everyone got to say. Yeah, constructive criticism, cool. I get it. But if it's mainly the people that's not doing nothing with their lives that got something negative to say. You know what I mean?
That things did not pan out the way they wanted it to for whatever their goals were. And I get it, man. I totally get it. And also don't think just because we have fun and our name is in lights and we get a lot of attention, don't think that we don't go through struggles too. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here, bro. This is very hard to balance and maintain this life in the music and I say and because it's also more than music. I have aspirations of doing TV as well. You know, a lot of people might not know this. I went to college for broadcast journalism. You know what I'm saying? I have a background in broadcasting. I know how to read and write speech copy for commercials. I understand how FCC rules and regulations work. That's a whole nother conversation for another time. But, you know, this life is challenging, man. It might look like it's crazy and parties and tours, bro. Most of the time after a show, I go back to the hotel room to the bus and I go to sleep. After the Afro Man show, we went over to Rainbow Room, got some pizzas. I had one drink and went to the hotel and went to bed, bro.
Yep. And I'm glad you said that because a lot of artists, they want to tour. They see the fun that's happening. Let's keep it real. Don't get me wrong. It's fun being on tour. It's amazing. But at the same time, it's a fucking headache. It's hard work. Like you just said, after the Afro Man tour, you went and got some food and went to bed. That's what people don't realize. When you're in a different city, a different state, night in and night out, you don't get to see the fun that city has. You get in. You say you got a show that night. You get in there that day. You check in your hotel. You chill out for a little bit. You go to the venue hours before it starts. So if something starts at 8 and you're on tour, you got to be there 5, 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? Sound check, all that. And then after the show, it's after midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. You don't want to do shit. You like you said, go get something to eat, go back to your room, and then the next morning you up headed to the next city or state. Yep. So it's fun, but you don't get to see the fun.
Exactly. Like I said, DJ Muggs. You know, if everybody knows the song Rock Superstar by Cypress Hill, DJ Muggs says in the song, it's a fun job, but it's still a job. There be times I'd be exhausted and I don't have the energy to mingle. And I'm a people person. I'm an extrovert. I love people. But there be times where I'd be dead exhausted and tired. And you know, I'm thankful for every fan and supporter, but there are times where people are like, yo, man, you know, let's hang out. Let's go back to my place or let's go to this after party, man. You know, I'm a big fan of yours. And I'd be like, dog, I am so tired.
Yeah, for real.
I leave at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 2 a.m.
Yo, big facts. Man, we've been talking about your music, man. We're gonna run a track real quick before we close up. Man, this is Awesome Ray Ray on the Run. Man, when I say this song is crazy excited. Man, after we play this, we'll talk about the creative process and when it came to making this track. Y'all check it out. Awesome Ray Ray on the Run.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. It's gonna be a crazy one right here. She said, please. I screamed on your knees. She cried away. Me. Darling, I gotta go. Sheriff for the bullet. Please, please, please. Like a crime, pain, and misery. Please, Mr. Sheriff, put a bullet in me. Live the life of crime, pain, and misery. Please, Mr. Sheriff, put a bullet in me. Live the life of crime, pain, and misery. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run. Now I'm on the run, now I'm on the run.
Man, hold up. I fucking love that song. For real. That's my shit right there, man. Let's talk about the creative process when it came to making that track.
Real quick, have you seen the video yet?
No, I haven't.
You're gonna want to see the video.
All right, I'm gonna check it out after this for sure.
You won't be disappointed, I promise you. On the run, man, it's wild. So after I had left Year of the Locust, and this was like 2018, I was doing some contract security work, and I was working during a really, really bad like storm outside of an Amazon warehouse, and I had my laptop, and I was like, you know what, man, I ain't about to do no patrols in this bad weather. I ain't going outside. So I'm sitting in my truck. So I'm messing around with some different beats and some different like guitar riffs and loops, and I heard that blues guitar riff, you know, and I just sat there and I was like, huh, some, just muttering some stuff, and then I just hit this real like blood curdling like blues scream, like yeah, and I was like, oh shit, okay. I kept going, and that was the first time I'd ever had that blues like voice before. I've never used that prior.
Oh wow, okay.
Always been like a rap kind of deal, and I just wrote, and I've been blessed with ADHD, so my brain is a very like graphic like brain. I will hear something and I will see it in the form of like a movie or a video. So that's a fictitious story about an outlaw, and I just wrote a story. It's a fake story about a dude running from the cops. He meets a prostitute, they do what they do, and he falls asleep. She steals his drugs and his money, and he kills her. And then the cops chase him. And then he shoots at the cop car and disables the cop car and gets away. That's On the Run. And you'll see that in the video.
Yeah.
So I wrote that out in my truck and recorded parts on my laptop, and then went with Javen we flew out to Hollywood. We were like, yo, let's just go to Hollywood for a week and let's just check it out. Let's see what's up. You know, I'd been to LA before, but never for a long period of time. It was always there for a show with a rock band and we out. So we went for the whole week, and I found the studio in Studio City called Studio City Sound. Shout out to Tom, who was the guy that engineered that session. And we laid it down like that night. And then I took the raw files and sent them to my buddy who plays guitar. And this is where networking is important. If anything you take from me tonight, for y'all that are watching, musicians, you know, aspiring artists, whatever, networking is key. I met this dude by the name of Brian Bonds, who was one of the original members of a very, very well-known group called Florida Georgia Line. They had a song with Nelly called Cruise. It killed the airwaves.
I remember that.
So Brian, he's also in the music video for On the Run. So I go down to Nashville. I met him when I was with Year of the Locust. We were on a big tour together. Stayed in touch, stayed talking as friends, and he put some stank on it in the studio. And then through a friend of his, this dude named Luke Forehand, he mixed and masters for Yellow Wolf. He mixed and mastered that song On the Run. That's how. Then I shot the video at a farm in Virginia that I used to work security at. Networking. Use your networking skills. And my former fire department as standby because I blow up a car in the video. Yes, we blew it up for real. So again, networking, used a couple of cop buddies of mine to be there to help me out. Javen was there, and the guy that plays the sheriff's deputy in the music video, his name is Rigo. Rigo has been in Nipsey Hussle videos, Justin Bieber videos. What's the boxer dude that everybody gives shit to? He's been in Jake Paul videos, Five Finger Death Punch videos. Dude plays a cop in every music video ever. So
yeah.
Him out from LA. If you notice, there's a common connection here to LA.
yeah. Facts.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I had it there. I had to keep going back, but all came about, man. It's just a crazy series of like weird events in my head that came out into a microphone.
Yeah, and that's dope, bro. Like, I like what you said. You were blessed to have ADD. I like that, bro, because you don't take it and use it as a crutch. You use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? To your strong points, and I love that shit. And man, you also made an important statement: networking. So
Yeah.
I'll tell a story real quick. I don't know if I told you this. If it wasn't for networking, this interview would not be happening.
Exactly.
When I met you in Hollywood, I was not supposed to be in Hollywood. We was on tour with Afro Man, the presidential tour. Last stop on tour was in New Mexico that week prior. It was that Monday prior. You know what I mean? And basically, long story short, between him rocking out on stage and Afro Man and his team seeing how well we network and how we do business, me and my wife, we got invited to Hollywood by Afro Man. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's all about networking. Artists, when you're out there on the road, even if you're just doing a show in your city, you're there to have fun, but remember one thing, you're there to do business. Like with my artists, I'll tell them straight up, no drinking before you get on stage.
Right.
There's no drinking before you get on stage. And even after you get off stage, you want to have a few drinks, you want to smoke something cool, but still remember, you're still there to do business, and you never know who's watching. You know what I mean? Perfect example. I had a dope ass couple of artists that was supposed to get flown up to Summer Jam in New York. Long story short, someone important watching them didn't like how they moved outside of the music industry, and totally turned away from them because he looked at it like, if this is how y'all acting on your everyday life, I'm not about to put my name and spend all this money to fly out there to perform a Summer Jam in front of thousands and thousands of people, and then y'all make me look bad. So artists, anybody in the industry, managers, promoters, when you guys are at these events, it's about being professional. Like, don't get me wrong, I smoke, you know what I mean? But I don't smoke like I do when I'm working. You know what I mean? I probably, like that night in Hollywood, I probably smoked one blunt all night. We was there since 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean? It's all about being professional, man. Got a few more questions before we let you go.
Absolutely.
Where do you see your career in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself on the road a lot more, with not just a bigger bus, but more than one. That's another thing. I want to own a fleet of tour buses and rent them to other bands and artists. I think that would be a great business venture and opportunity, not only for me to expand, but to also help out other artists and bands. You know, what better than to rent, you know, a tour vehicle through a person who is a musician actively doing it. So I see myself expanded in that nature in the next 5 years. And honestly, relocating to the West Coast, no longer living in
California.
Vegas is also a viable option as well. I've spent a lot of time in Vegas, almost equal amounts of time in both places. Myself on multiple national tours with bigger and bigger artists, you know what I'm saying? I see just a huge explosion in not only my music career, but my career in life in general, and just helping people, man, helping people, protecting people, and not always in a uniform or, you know what I'm saying, in that right. I believe interactions with people on the street, interactions with people backstage, you know what I'm saying? Interactions with people online, all of that stuff matters. All that stuff is important. And I see myself doing what I'm doing now, but on a bigger scale, having a bigger impact.
I love it, man. I love it. Two things. Dusty said, "Yo, I'm so jealous that business ideas is so dope, good as shit. That's sick as fuck. That's dope as fuck, bro. Because in the music industry, no artist is trying to look out for another artist. You know what I mean? It's a cutthroat industry. So for you, an artist yourself, that is a dope ass idea, bro. I like that. Hurry up and get that done before somebody steal that idea. But that shit is dope. That shit is super dope. For real, for real.
I'm working, man. It's not easy. A big part about having, you know, big vehicles like tour buses and stuff is you got to have a place to keep them. And where I live at, man, it's a premium, bro. In DC, Maryland, Virginia, if you have big vehicles, like I have a 40-foot bus, and that's a smaller version of what I really want, which is like a 45 Revo. Those places are anywhere from $300 to $1,200 a month just for you to park it and keep it there. You know what I'm saying? So, a part of that business idea that I have growing, it's going to have to grow somewhere else and not in this particular region, at least not for that season of my life. It'd be great to have it all over the country, but here, business-wise, financially, it would not make sense because the operational cost of just storing those vehicles is expensive around here because everybody's got a camper or a boat or a bus, and these places charge a premium for that.
You know what? Fuck it. We about to invest in the Greyhound station.
You know, maybe buying a lot and also having a storage lot and owning a storage lot and renting to artists and bands that need to store their vehicles. That might be a part of a business plan too.
Real shit. You on to something, bro. You on to something. Man, like I said, like I stated earlier, man, in the interview between blues, rock, hip hop, metal, along with other genres, man, you touch every one of them, and you're a beast at all of them, man. What do you want people to get out of your music?
A couple of things, man. I want people to be able to have an escape. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to have what I like to call a good distraction, you know, because for however long you're listening to me or watching me, you're not thinking about whatever negative stuff is going on in your life for that moment. So a good escape, a good distraction. I want people to get entertainment out of it. I want people to be able to get healing, you know, that have gone through stuff, that are going through stuff, and inspiration and love. Like, be inspired. You know, your goals might not have anything to do with music. Your goals might be you want to open up a nail salon. Yo, I hope listening to Awesome Ray helps you get there. You know, inspires you to take that risk, jump out there, and things of that nature, and positivity and love. You know, and not just love for other people, but love for yourself. Like, I hope that people can take that away too.
Hell yeah, I like it, brother. And before I ask you this last question, tell everybody where they can find your music at.
I am on all streaming platforms. So I am on Apple Music. I am on Spotify. I am on YouTube Music. I am on Amazon Music is another one. I'm on Tidal. I believe I'm in 147 different platforms that are being added every day. So just Awesome Ray. You can find me streaming everywhere.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man, like I said, before we let you go, man, what advice would you give to the next generation pursuing their goals and dreams, regardless if it's music or something else?
My advice would be stay humble. Don't get too big-headed. And I have to humble myself at times. Stay humble, stay hungry. Don't be afraid to receive criticism. You know, it's okay to you know, let some other folks in that can help you. Don't be married to one specific idea. And also again, network, man, even with people that are not a part of your business plan or a part of your, you know, whatever your goals are. You know, if you're in the food industry, you know, and you meet somebody that works on race cars, it's okay to network with them. You never know where you might be needed. You never know where your paths might cross. You know what I'm saying?
I need you to cook some food at NASCAR.
Bro, you never. I know a couple of celebrity chefs, bro. Like, it's crazy how you bump into people doing stuff that might not necessarily be in your wheelhouse. Know how to conduct yourself, know when to apologize, and know when you are wrong, and try to make good on your mistakes. We're all gonna make them. We're all gonna do some dumb stuff. We're all gonna say some dumb stuff. It is life. It happens, bro. You know, I've made some very, very embarrassing and stupid choices, but you have to learn how to move forward from them. And sometimes it takes you a couple times. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. But don't get too cocky. Don't think you're above being corrected, and have some faith, you know. Rather, if you believe in God, great, seek that faith. If you don't, whoever you believe in, even if it's yourself, have something or someone to believe in, and keep a good support system around you. Like, you know who is for you and who ain't for you. You know them homeboys that say they're your friends, you know what I'm saying, that might be getting you into trouble. You got to know when to cut certain people off. You know what I'm saying? And it's not personal, it is business.
Facts. I like it, man. I like it. Man, it's saying that, bro. This been a blast, bro. For real. Definitely can't wait till we link up again. Man, I keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're a big inspiration for a lot of people out there, bro. And I wish you more success that you had, bro, for that you already had, man. Success beyond your imaginations. In saying that, this your boy Reckless Talk with the Reckless Talk Podcast, Reckless Talk Sports Podcast, Reckless Talk Management and Promotions, A1 Music Empire, 1836 Entertainment, HoustonCityBeat.com. We are the storytellers of Houston. We've been live on YouTube, YouTube Music, and Facebook. So if you've been rocking with us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. If you've been rocking with us on Facebook, hit the love button, comment, share. Let's get Awesome Ray Ray's name out there. And if you've been rocking with us on YouTube Music, we truly appreciate you guys. My podcast goes where you go. It's ain't that. We out of here. It's a wrap. Yo, he mentioned Vegas. I'll be in Vegas. Catch me in Vegas November 3rd. MCing for Little Flip. It is going down. Hey, H-Town, we out of here, man. We appreciate every single one of y'all.